rumble.
We on the grind, it's game time. Light shine, all eyes on the line. Every move, every play, we define. Heart in
Good late morning to you for those of us joining here on Saturday just before noon on ISC Sports Network as Fountain Central visits Rossville in Indiana State girls basketball. I'm Harrison Silcox, Kristen Hazley with me on the broadcast with you today, and our broadcast brought to you by Dane Ginda Funeral Home, putting family first. Healthy communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. Also, Mulberry Telecommunications, your local hometown fiber provider. Rossville Consolidated Schools, achieve, learn, lead, and inspire. Also, the Frankfort Eagles Post 976, people helping people. And the Willow Creek Barn, providing a picturesque setting for the barn wedding of your dreams. Once again, we welcome you into our pregame show. I'm Harrison Silcox. I've got Kristen Hazley here with me at the desk in our ISC studios. And Kristen, get your early thoughts on this one as we get ready for tip-off.
Yeah, Harrison, it's going to be an excellent small-town matchup this morning. We are in for an awesome treat this early season, a great matchup between Rossville and Fountain Central. I expect a pretty even match today, something that's going to be fun to watch down the line. A lot of scoring, a lot of good playing, and a good early season barometer.
Fountain Central team that's got 5 games played already on the season. A little bit different story for Rossville with just 1 game so far played through here, almost through the month, midway through the month of November. By the way, it's our pregame show brought to you by Dane Ginda Funeral Home, putting family first. As we head into our first look, brought to you by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. You see the 2 teams here. Sam Carr is the head coach for Fountain Central. 5-0 record thus far on the year. He's got over 100 wins in his career. It's his 7th year as a head coach. And then the other side, as you look at Rossville, this is the home team player to watch for them tonight. I mean, there's going to be several, but you see Ava Burkle on there, over 1,000 career points, Kristen.
Yeah, and we talked about it pregame, Harrison. Ava Burkle just scoring her 1,000th point last week, becoming the 2nd all-time leading scorer for Rossville. That first leading scorer, though, the head coach, Jennifer Jacoby.
Yeah, she got over 2,000 career points scored in her high school career. Was Miss Indiana basketball back in 1991. So that record, unless Burkle does some amazing things with points per game this season, looks like it's going to stand this year. But Burkle, at least climbing her way up the ranks on some very good historic scores of the basketball in Rossville history. So that's our player to watch, Ava Burkle. We'll pivot now over to Keys to Victory. By the way, player to watch brought to you by ISC Sports Network. Local lives here. Keys to Victory by Tier 1 Meat Co., where every cut is elite and every customer is family. So, Kristen, back to you for our keys to the game.
Yeah, first key, win the turnover battle. I think this game is going to go to the cleaner team that's able to get into their sets, limit the live ball turnovers, and especially against any sort of full court pressure that either team is going to put on. Secondly, you've got to shoot with confidence. Yes, we touched on Ava Burkle for Rossville, but for Fountain Central, can Bacon or Simcoe get going from the 3 and really stretch that Rossville defense? Third key to the game is going to be dominating the board. Whichever team is able to really dominate that rebound battle, limit second chances on the offensive board, I think they walk away with a strong advantage in this one, Harrison.
Starting lineups, officials, and tip-off coming up around the corner on ISC Sports Network.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the Knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. If you haven't signed up for Mintel Fiber Optic Internet from Mulberry Telecommunications, then you're missing out. We have various packages to choose from and speeds up to a gig. Not to mention each package includes a Wi-Fi 6 wireless router and access to our Mintel Smart Home app, giving you complete control of your network backed by our award-winning customer service. Go ahead and dance till your heart's content in whatever reality you want, even if it's virtual. Mulberry Telecommunications offering the best gig in town. Sign up today at Mintel.net and experience the Mintel difference.
Frankfurt Eagles 976, serving with the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, Frankfurt Eagles offers something for everyone. Golf leagues, bingo, concerts, kid parties, cookouts, and more. For more information on who we are and what we do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfurt Eagles at 408 North Main Street, Frankfurt, Indiana.
Welcome back to Rossville High School. We'll take a look at starting lineups brought to you by Ardente Dental. Healthy smiles start here. So for Fountain Central, they're starting 5 tonight. You've got Citrus Wesley at guard, 5'4" freshman. Sophomore, 5'7". It is Kendall Nolan, leads the team in points per game this year with 14. Henley Good wears the number 14, 5'7" junior, also getting the starting nod as well. Then we get into a little bit more of the size of this lineup. Aubrey Ashwill, she's 5'10", junior, gets the start, listed as a forward, and then 5'8" sophomore Cassandra Wildman, also listed as a forward, getting the starting nod as well for Fountain Central. As you see Burkle get the basketball to commemorate her 1,000-plus career points that she's reached this year. We will go ahead and preview Rossville's starting lineup as Ava Burkle will get the start. You'll see her at the bottom of your graphic here on the right side of your screen. Victoria Vanderwall, she's a guard-forward combo, 5'8" junior, also getting the starting nod tonight. Allie Elliott, 5'10" junior, starts as well. Addie Gorbett, a 5'10" junior, starting, and then we also mentioned Ava Burkle, over 1,000 career points, and she will be one to watch in this matchup today. So once again, I'm Harrison Silcox, Kristen Hazley with me as those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Ardente Dental. And now over to our officials, brought to you by Wampler's Disposal Service and Recycling, where recycling makes sense. 3 officials today: Eric Hartman, Jeff Ward, and Micah McVicker. And those are your officials today. And Kristen, I'll bring you back in for this one as starting lineups officially being announced on the court. We talked a lot about Ava Burkle. She's got good size, plenty of experience, a senior. There's a reason why she's gotten to over 1,000 career points. So let's talk about her a little bit more. When you run into a player who has that scoring touch, nearly 6 foot tall, what problems does that pose for teams defensively?
I mean, defensively, you look at it and you say, okay, yeah, it's predictable, right? We know they're going to want to move everything through Burkle, whether it's a shot, it's a pass. The offense is running through her. On the other hand, being as dynamic as she is their leading rebounder, leading scorer. Really, everything truly does go through her as a playmaker. That makes her even more dangerous. She knows how to handle a double team. She knows how to pass or dribble her way out of a trap. And she's really, over the last 3 years, become just a force in handling whatever defensive scheme is honestly thrown at her at this point.
And she got 1 game under her belt so far this season, and it was a double-double. 21 points to start the year, comboed with 12 rebounds. She had a baker's dozen in the scoring column when these two teams met last season, but it was Fountain Central who won that matchup. Mentioned that the Mustangs of Fountain Central earlier in the pregame show are 5-0 to start the year. They're hoping to keep their momentum going, and because some dual sport athletes on the Rossville side of things, they've had to kind of push back the start of their season a little bit, so they didn't play their first game until November 11th. That was a win at Western Boone. 58-42 was the final there. So both these teams off to a successful start here early in the high school basketball season, but a lot more playing time under Fountain Central's side of things, and it is them who will win the opening tip-off. So Fountain Central getting the first possession here this afternoon, and here we go on the ISC Sports Network.
Great to get this season going. You mentioned it, Harrison, a bit of a delay there because of the volleyball season, but that's something we love about the high school sports season is all of these multi-sport athletes and some of the impressive things they can do across multiple different fields and courts.
That's a busy schedule to keep up with as well. You got school by day, practices in the afternoons, and recovery in between that, and then you just throw in multiple sports in there, seasons that overlap, and it is quite the challenge that is presented here, as Fountain Central may have gotten away with the travel there as the ball circled around to the far side to Good, who takes it up to the key. Now Nolan with it here on the near side. She tries to find some cutters, working on a very patient possession here to start for Fountain Central. Wesley with the basketball now, tries a triple and off the front iron. Rebound, it will go to Burkle, her first of the game. Long outlet pass ahead, in and out of the hands of Vanderwall, keeps it in play. Dribbles inside before that kick out, 3 on the way. That is off the mark as well. Burkle on the board. Burkle gets it to fall through, and she gets her first points of the night.
We see Burkle starting it off there with a good outlet pass, trying to go quickly down the court. Missed layup, but you've got to get her boxed out there on the offensive rebound.
So ball immediately moved toward the left here on this possession. Both teams 0 for 2 from downtown. Burkle, the only player to make a shot thus far in this one here in the very, very early going. 6.5 left to play here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, great display so far of what I think we're going to see as far as the tempo battle goes. You know, this season so far, Fountain Central, a 42-27 win suggests they're fine with a slower, grinded-out pace, looking for the correct shots as they find there.
That's Kendall Nolan, who knots things up at 2 apiece. A good response there, Kristen, from Fountain Central to get one back.
Yeah, they're looking very composed early on. Harrison really patient in their offense sets, really moving the ball, and a good find for Kendall Nolan.
Shot along the baseline. It was a tough one, but it fell right through as Rossville makes it 4-2. That was the first settled possession we've seen in the early afternoon from Rossville as they take the lead. That pass deflected out of play off the hands of Bella Bacon.
Yeah, Rossville showing a bit of a 3-2 trap there, trying to find Nolan in the corner. A good quick double there by Burkle as she slides over. Something to keep an eye out for Fountain Central to try and break down.
Now swung over to Wesley. She's up top. Some more patient offense here from Fountain Central. Double team was thrown to the corner. Now it's back to that far corner for a 3. That's off the mark. Rebound is up for grabs, and that's our first whistle of the game. I believe that's Burkle who's called for the contact. And up to the free throw line is Citrus Wesley, the 5'4" freshman, averaging 5.5 points a game on the season.
It's a good quick release. Looks like they get Burkle there. She's behind her, out of position. It's a great sign for Fountain Central. If they can get Burkle in some foul trouble, that obviously limits what Rossville can do offensively.
One more from the charity stripe here. It'll tie things back up at 4-all. As the freshman goes through her routine. That's off the back iron and out. Burkle then gets the rebound, her second of the day. And that pass deflected out of play as Burkle tried to get it to the near corner. 5:14 left to play here in the first, just the second game of the year for Rossville. So it's worked along the near side here and rotated out around. Fountain Central trying the double team, now a triple team along the baseline. Pass nearly turned into a turnover up top. It's hung onto by Bacon. Picks up her dribble. This is Ashwell with a basketball. Will drive inside. Pass down low to the paint, and that's a nice and easy bucket.
That's a good job by Bacon there. She goes ahead, takes up the point, able to move it around the perimeter, and finally find it inside there. Well done.
It was actually Addie Gorbett. Pardon me, looking at the wrong boards on that possession. Happens to all of us, shaking off the rust here early in the season, as that's a miss there. Rossville with possession now. This is Vanderwall kicking out to the far side. Burkle out of the corner. Now finds Gorbett. Triple in and out. Burkle gets the rebound. Burkle puts it up off the glass and in.
I love that driving kick there by Burkle. She was able to find Gorbett in the corner, and I love that. We said shoot with confidence pregame. She's open, takes a shot. Shooter's got to shoot. She'll keep trying to find it.
So Burkle getting things going here early on. She's got 4 points so far in this one. Rossville up by 5. As Fountain Central passes out of that near corner, now top of the key. Wesley has Burkle on the matchup and draws some contact.
Well, that might be number 2 on Burkle, and that's going to be really difficult there for Coach Jacoby to try and make a decision on that one.
That's the second foul on Burkle indeed. Both times she's fouled Wesley. This time, though, not on a shot. Henley good with the basketball. Right-handed dribble before she throws near side. As Wesley loses the ball on the interior, and 2 thumbs up from the official. Jump ball it is.
It's a good cutting run in there by Citrus Wesley. She's open for a moment. They try and find her, just not able to get the clean catch and find the ball with her back to the basket there.
So score remains 8-3. Fountain Central's only made 1 basket from the floor. The other point came from the free throw line, courtesy of Citrus Wesley. O'Brien, one-handed pass inside. Burkle fouled on the shot, or rather that's Gorbett fouled on the shot. She'll go to the line to shoot a pair. And while Gorbett is at the free throw line, broadcast today brought to you by Dane Genda Funeral Home. Tonight's game is brought to you by Dane Genda Funeral Home with locations in Frankfort, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville. The compassionate and experienced staff at Dane Genda Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved one. For more information on our services and community involvement, please visit dayandgenda.com. Dane Genda Funeral Homes, where we put family first, and that is 2 free throws up and 2 free throws down for Gorbett. She's got 4 points so far, and into the double digits goes Rossville with a 7-point lead to boot.
Yeah, Gorbett having herself a nice game so far, getting involved on the board, getting the ball down low. She's going to be an excellent outlet for them if, if Burke continues to get into some foul trouble.
This is Wesley on the near side, as Burkle still has those 2 fouls, but remains on the floor. A couple bounces off the rim. Turns out to be a friendly bounce as well. Fountain Central cuts the lead down to 5. Aubrey Ashwell was able to get that one to fall. Shooter's touch, I suppose. This is Burkle on the inside from the low post. That's off the mark. Outside for a 3. Off the front rim and out. Burkle unable to get that rebound. Wesley hustles for it and is on the run. Does not have the numbers. She'll try the shot anyways and draw the foul.
Good run down the court there by Citrus Wesley. They're able to get the rebound. They find her in the outlet. Does well at attacking there. The defender makes the contact. Is going to go for 2 free throws.
Mallory O'Brien called for the foul. Tonight's game brought to you by Frankfort's Eagles. Post 976, serving our community since 1905 with over 900 members locally. The Frankfort Eagles offer something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by 408 North Main Street in Frankfort. So 1 for 2 that time around goes Wesley from the free throw line. Makes it 10-6 on the scoreboard with just a couple of minutes left here in the first quarter. This is Burkle on the near side. Finds a cutter down low. Easy catch and shoot on the lay-in for Vanderwall.
Now Rossville's offense really humming right now. They're able to find the rhythm in those cutting runs to the basket. So far getting most shots that they'd like to find.
Ball back at the top of the key before it's circled around to good along that far side. Here's Wesley with a basketball now. Rossville content to stay in that zone. That 3-2 trap that you had mentioned earlier in the quarter, Kristen, as that triple is off the mark. Now O'Brien on the kick out. 3 on the way. Still no good. Nobody's been able to connect from beyond the arc so far in this one. Nolan picked up the rebound. So here comes Fountain Central trailing by 6. 90 seconds remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, you mentioned not able to find the 3-point shot yet. Bacon last year was 31% from 3, so you would think that she'll probably keep shooting when she's open, trying to find that look.
There's a 3 that's on the way. Off the glass, no good. Burkle grabs the board. Pass ahead in transition, room to shoot. That one, though, off the mark on the inside from Vanderwall. Couldn't connect with the right hand. Now 1 minute left to play in the opening quarter. 12-6. Hornets in front. Nolan had a screen to her left, decided to dribble to the right. Good works on the inside, gets the whistle, so she'll go to the free throw line. As the free throw shots have been a good opportunity for Fountain Central to find some offense here in this first quarter.
Yeah, Henley Good doing a nice job dribbling into the heart of that zone, going up for the shot, gets the contact, makes the first.
12-7 as some substitutions are made on the courts. Autumn Pascal, one of those players entering the ball game. Allie Elliott on the court as well. And Adeline Farley and Addie Gorbett out there as well. So is O'Brien for Rossville, as the second free throw is good from good. Trailing by just 4 now in the ball game is Fountain Central. Burkle not on the floor for this offensive possession. Long swing pass out to the corner, and that was a foot that touched the line. Mallory O'Brien's foot that touched the line with 29.4 seconds left to play in the quarter. And our broadcast brought to you by Healthy Communities of Clinton County. They offer free navigation services for all pregnant women. A licensed nurse is available to help you with free pregnancy tests and prenatal vitamins, insurance assistance, prenatal appointment assistance, smoking or vaping cessation, breastfeeding, labor, delivery, safe sleep, car seat, and newborn care education. Call Libby at 765-659-6063 for more information. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Loose ball gets in the hands of Rossville, and that one bounces out of play. Quarter ends 12-8. Rossville in front as we head to a break. Second quarter coming up after this one.
At Wampler's Disposal and Recycling, we take pride in offering waste management for commercial and residential clients. As an industry leader, Wampler's Disposal and Recycling brings the most professional and responsive collection service in the business. Since 1948, our family-owned and operated company has provided excellent service at competitive rates. We offer container rentals as well. Our longevity in the industry is a testament to our excellent service. We serve all of Clinton, Tippecanoe, Boone, Howard, and Carroll counties. For all your waste removal needs, call Wampler Services Incorporated today. You can reach us at 765-659-3721. Visit us online at wamplerservicesinc.com.
That is Rossville's bench at Rossville High School, and it is Rossville who leads after the first quarter, 12-8. I'm Harrison Silcox with you this afternoon on the ISC Sports Network. Attention, all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside Frankfort, Indiana. Our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. And then also at Tier 1 Meat Co., we take pride in delivering locally sourced premium beef and pork, the kind of meat that honors the land, respects the craft, and fuels families with real flavor. From custom processing to mission-ready catering, we bring the firepower to elevate every meal at every moment. Founded by veterans, every cut is elite and every customer is family. Step into Tier 1 at 128 West Catherine Street in Flora, or visit us online at tier1meatco.com. Turnover to start the second quarter for Fountain Central. Kristen Hazley with me on the call. Kristen, your thoughts on that opening quarter? Went by quickly.
Yeah, it did go by very quickly. I thought it was a great example of what I think we'll see throughout the next 3 quarters of this one, Harrison. We're going to have, obviously, Rossville trying to work the ball through Burkle, using that physicality, and then allowing those younger guards to kind of take some shots when they're open, but really playing through Burkle and using that physicality. On the Fountain Central side, they're doing an excellent job at being patient, running their offensive sets, and trying to break down that 3-2 zone we talked about. But again, a tight game, and I would expect that Fountain Central is going to try and slow that tempo down. Rossville just wants to keep pushing.
Well, slowing the tempo down, it'll do it right here as you get a foul called on a shot. So a couple of free throws on the way for Allie Elliott. It does slow down the tempo, but it doesn't do much good for Fountain Central as Rossville adds to their total on the scoreboard. And that free throw off the mark. Burkle, it looked like she had the rebound. It was collected by Wildman, and then she traveled.
I credit Cassandra Wildman. They're not giving up on the rebound, but yeah, Burkle goes up, almost grabs herself an offensive board.
So O'Brien to inbound once more. Does find an outlet along the perimeter in Elliott. Elliott will drive, and then she gets fouled this time around. I believe that might have been Citrus Wesley making contact. And so back to the free throw line to shoot 2 more is Allie Elliott.
Yeah, it's a good drive there. She starts to get downhill and then feels that trap coming on, feels the contact goes up. Hey, get 2 at the line when you can take them.
Allie Elliott getting her second point of the game. Lead is back up to 6, at least for now. One more free throw coming. And she makes both of them this time around. (15-8) here in the early minutes of the second quarter. This is Wesley, top of the key. Likely to see some more patience from Fountain Central on offense. And Kristen, you mentioned the zone defense looks they were given in the first quarter. Rossville, that is. It looks like they're going to continue that here in the second. And if it's not broke, don't fix it, I suppose. It's been tough for Fountain Central to find some looks on offense so far in this first half. As we get a foul and the bucket there. So tough to find looks, but if you make your tough looks, nobody's going to complain too much. That's Nolan with the and one.
Yeah, and you said it, Harrison. First half, they're trying to break it down, and that's what they've got to do. You've either got to dribble into that heart of that zone or you find that cut-through pass. They're able to find Kendall Nolan there. Well done, facing up to the basket, gets the shot off, draws the contact as well, and that'll do a long way in helping Fountain Central stay right tight with Rossville in this one.
Kendall Nolan averaging 14 points per game thus far in the season. This is game number 6 for Fountain Central. They're perfect 5-0. Free throw on the way, and it is good. So that completes the three-point play. And trailing just by 4 now is Fountain Central. They're hanging around in this one. As back on offense is Rossville, and that's a turnover there. Pass went right into the arms of Elkins. Chance to make it a one-possession game. 6:30 left to play here in the first half. Wesley works into the free throw line before a pass goes out to Nolan, who corrals. Works around a pick to her right. Wesley gets a screen, stops at the free throw line, spins, shoots, that's off the mark. Rebound, though, is kept alive on this end by Fountain Central. Now on the drive, off the glass, and a clean make for Henley Good.
Yeah, well done by Henley Good, just cleaning up that possession a little bit for them, trying to find something from the free throw range and able to kind of swoop in there and find some points for Fountain Central.
Back to a one-possession game. Burkle's been held scoreless so far in the second quarter. She's got the basketball now, matched up with Good. An aggressive defense from Good as Burkle goes around a pick. Now in the low post. Back out to Burkle. Thought about the three. Now drives inside, left-handed. Finish rattles home.
And that's just what Burkle can do for you. You know, whether she's open for that three, she could have nailed it, but a great shot fake takes the defender inside for an easy lay-in.
17-13. Rossville hanging on to that lead. Fountain Central finding some momentum on offense. Great contrast in styles.
Absolutely. And you see, you know, Fountain Central obviously slowing the play down, but I like that they're picking up the pace of the movement off the ball. That's where they're going to find some of those openings, whether it's Henley Good down low or a nice drive here.
That's good take inside. Shot, though, off the mark. Wesley hustles for the offensive rebound. And Lee Good with the basketball. 4 points here in the first half for 14 in blue. Pass goes inside and then back out as Fountain Central tries to solve the zone. And they'll do it right here with a fantastic look inside. Aubrey Ashwell able to finish that one. 2-point game once again.
Yeah, well done by Ashwell. Just gets the positioning on her defender and seals off the block.
Burkle down low. Her shot's off the mark.
Now, see, and this is the advantage that this tempo gives Fountain Central right there. Rossville goes down, 1 and out. You're coming back. Just ran about a minute and a half off the clock. Obviously, no shot clock in high school basketball allows them to play a little bit more of a methodical offense like this.
Shot of the way, and that one falls through for Kendall Nolan. We're going to get a whistle on the court as Nolan's got 8 points, and we're tied at 17. And while we've got a break in the action, want to remind you today's game brought to you by Rossville Schools. At Rossville, we rank #1 in safety, lead the country in academics, and have achieved remarkable success in our athletic, agricultural, and fine arts programs. Come see why Rossville Schools is #1 across the board in and around our community. Visit rcsd.k12.in.us for more information, or call us at 765-379-2990 to set up an on-site visit. And then also Mulberry Telecommunications. They offer high-speed fiber optic internet, streaming TV, and telephone solutions. We are local telecommunications cooperative that has been serving Clinton and Tippecanoe County for over 120 years. Now that we've expanded our services into Rossville, we're excited to join our neighborhood and welcome you to our fiberhood. Learn more at www.mintel.net or call 765-296-2885. Rossville with the basketball now. Pass is kicked out to the far side. As Fountain Central started this quarter with a turnover, now they've tied things up at 17 apiece, and that's an over and back as the offense of Rossville has now stalled out a little bit here in the second quarter, Christian.
Yeah, and we talked in the pregame, one of the keys to the game was going to be limiting your turnovers, especially early on in the season. That can be tough for teams, but the more opportunities that you can be efficient with, those become so important in tight games like this one.
It's a 9-2 run at the moment for Fountain Central as Wesley has the basketball. And a timeout. It's going to be whistled on the floor. This one by Fountain Central with 3:32 left here in the first half. Again, tied at 17 apiece.
Yeah, an interesting quick timeout there from Fountain Central. Coach didn't like what he saw coming out of the timeout, I'm guessing there. Wants to redraw something up on the whiteboard.
Well, he does that. Want to remind you about Wampler's Disposal Service and Recycling. It's a place where recycling always makes sense. Please call Wampler's at 659-3721 for all your trash, recycling, and scrap needs. Wampler's Disposal Service and Recycling, family-owned since 1948. Once again, I'm Harrison Silcox, Kristen Hazley, the other voice you're hearing with me on the broadcast today.
Semi-voice you're hearing. My apologies.
Everybody has to fight through some adversity. As you woke up this morning and your voice betrayed you.
Yeah, I blame the Indiana weather. I mean, we went from 60 degrees to 2 inches of snow back to 70 degrees. So my sinus is questioning what the heck is going on.
Well, thank goodness basketball's an indoor sport, I suppose. As a pass inside here, Fountain Central is able to take the lead. It's their first lead of the game.
Hey, slow and steady wins the race, it feels like, on this one. Fountain Central just picking their opportunities, finding the right shots to get back into this one and take their first lead.
And Rossville's going to get a trip to the free throw line here as Addie Gorbitz drew some contact. This is a look back at what gave Fountain Central their first lead of the game. Henley Good just flashing open in the low post. Nobody around her. She finishes the shot.
A great screen there by Kinley Elkins, the freshman for Fountain Central, to free her up on the back post there.
First free throw off the back iron, it out. That was Gorbitz's first miss from the free throw line this season. She makes the second one, though, that time around. Give her 5 points on the day. Wesley's got the basketball. She dribbles to her left. Henley Good. Pass to the inside. Ashwell goes up with it, and a whistle's called this time around. It's going to be another foul called. No, actually, this is going to go against Fountain Central. I'm not sure if Ashwell took a couple of steps there. I missed the signal from the official. Either way, Rossville's got the basketball and will try to retake the lead, trailing by a single point. And that's a look inside. That deflects off the left hand of Gorbit. So an empty possession there for Rossville. Fountain Central's going to hang on to that lead for just a little bit longer, a chance to possibly extend it. 2:43 left to play here in the second quarter.
And you like what Gorbit's trying to do there, push the pace, try and find a quick lay-in there. But, again, it comes back to those turnovers. Every time you go down the court without a point, if you're Rossville, you're giving up at least 30 seconds off that clock.
Nolan has the matchup with Burkle, cannot dribble past her. This is good. Rolls back to her right and takes a bump. So foul called here, I believe, against Victoria Vanderwall. Fountain Central will look to inbound from the baseline. Still have yet to see a three go down in this game, as this shot might have been blocked on its way to the hoop. Rossville comes away with the rebound, and they run the other direction. O'Brien straight to the cup and finishes.
Yeah, Corbett with the block on the other end, and then they come down, and a great quick layup there for Rossville to take the lead back.
Back and forth we go at Rossville High School. Hornets with the lead. 3 on the way, off the front iron and out. Rebound chased down offensively by Wesley. Fountain Central's done a nice job, I think, so far, Kristen, of hustling some of these rebounds in this game, especially winning on those offensive boards. As that shot off the mark by Nolan.
Yeah, absolutely, Harrison. They have really not given up on any shots, especially offensively. And when you're going up against Ava Burkle, you've got to box out. You've got to be in the right positioning. Credit Fountain Central for doing everything possible to get some of those boards, especially on the offensive end.
So here's Rossville back with the basketball, surrendered the lead momentarily for the first time in this game this quarter. Let's see what O'Brien can do with the basketball. She's the one who got Rossville back in front. 3 from the corner, and that is good. Our first 3 of the game. It was Gorbett who knocks it down. She's got 8 points now, 23-19. The lead expands to a couple of possessions.
Yeah, and that's the 2-punch, right? You know, 1 punch is Burkle. The 2-punch is going to be Corbett. And she finds herself open. You've seen her run the ball, run the court with pace as well. Another one of those multi-dimensional players.
Now on the near side with Ash Will. She finds a pass inside. Tough layup doesn't fall, but then whistle is blown by the official. I think we've got a foul. That goes against Rossville. And Nolan's going to have a trip at the free throw line. Take a look back, though, at what extended the lead to 4.
Yeah, she's in great positioning, finds her spot in the corner. Ball's in the shooting pocket. Perfect shot release. Well done there by Gorbett.
So Kendall Nolan, a couple of free throws made here. We'll get her to double digits on the afternoon. First free throw is good from Nolan. She's up to 9. Fountain Central took this matchup last year. Head coach Sam Carr, 2-2 all-time when coaching against Rossville. And that second free throw on the mark from Nolan. She's got 10. First player to reach double figures so far today. It's back to a 1-possession game.
Kendall Nolan has been really good this game for Fountain Central as far as cutting through those weak spaces in the zone, and she's so quick with the ball.
Bad pass. It's picked off by Nolan. And off the mark, that's actually Henley Good who picked it off, ran the other way, took some contact. She goes to the free throw line to shoot a couple as the shot was off the mark.
Yeah, great pickup here by Henley Good. Yeah, big contact there, and the foul on the lay-in by Adeline Farley. But you said it, I mean, Henley Good just so quick with the ball, reads the pass there away. Not afraid of the contact either, but I was just about to say, she and Kendall Nolan, as much as they look like, they play very similar as well. I've been impressed with both of those players being able to cut through and find some open shots early on in this one.
Good shot, 71% from the free throw line a season ago, but she misses the first of her 2 shot attempts here. I was wondering if Rossville was going to try and hold for the last shot on that possession. As Good makes the second free throw. 23-22. Now with just 22 seconds left to play in the second quarter, Rossville looks like they're going to be content to hold for potentially the last shot this time around, but some aggressive defense being thrown out from Fountain Central.
Yeah, it looks like they've gone to maybe a 1-3-1 here for this last possession.
8 seconds, 3 on the way, off the right side of the rim. Rebound still up for grabs. 3.6 seconds shows on the clock as Fountain Central's going to get a chance to run up the floor and get our last shot of the first half. A make here would be good enough for the lead. Henley Good has to heave one up and does.
Oh!
And makes it. Fountain Central's going to go into the halftime locker room up 25-23 on the back of a deep 3 from Henley Good as she reaches 10 points on the day. And take a look at that.
How good is Henley Good? So well done. Great awareness. Great clock awareness. A lot of times, you know, we'll see players take that way further than they need to because they've got more time, but Man, impressive work there by Henley Good. Mustangs will take the lead.
Mustangs will take the lead. They had about 3.5 seconds to get it down to the other side of the court and get a shot off. Henley Good did exactly that. How about that for a first half of basketball? Fountain Central 25, Rossville 23. Halftime show coming up next on ISC Sports Network.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
In this town, game day starts long before kickoff. It's the work behind the scenes that makes champions. At Tier 1 Meat Company, we prep with the same focus, discipline, and pride as the hometown heroes we feed. From our block to your block, fuel every victory. Tier 1 Meat Company. Mission, feed the fans. Standard, champion quality. Scan the QR code for a game day upgrade.
We've all heard the question, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? Honestly, we're not sure either. But what we do know is that if it falls in your yard, it usually leaves behind an unsightly stump that you'll be stuck mowing around. At JXN Stump Solutions, we'll get rid of that stump for good, and here's the best part. We offer free estimates, so you'll know the cost before the work begins. We deliver quality work from a professional, locally owned company with a commitment to leaving your property cleaner, safer, and stump-free. Contact us today at 242-9523. At JXN Stump Solutions, we're rooted in service and driven to remove.
Welcome to Trinity Hope Center. Here we are actively engaged in our recovery community with a multitude of activities including peer recovery coaching, a full computer lab, grief groups, relapse prevention, pre- and postnatal support group, educational workshops for family members with addicted loved ones, expungent workshops, parent cafes, Saturday pro-social activities, recovery walk club, book club, and even video game nights. For more information, give us a call at 765-250-1845.
Meet Henry. Henry is hip. Henry loves the new Mintel TV streaming app. And check out Helen. With features like Cloud DVR, Restart, and Look Back TV, Helen never misses her favorite shows. And this? Well, this is Bob. Bob can't contain his excitement for the new Mintel TV streaming app. Bob is proving that you actually can teach an old dog new tricks. What do you say, Bob? Does the Mintel TV app get a thumbs up? All right, Bobby-o. Mintel TV, the next generation of awesome, upgrade today. The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
That is your halftime score, 25-23. Quite an adventure on how we got there. It's Fountain Central who leads Rossville in a buzzer-beating three-pointer that was knocked in from Henley Good. So once again, we'll bring in the A-team on the broadcast here. That is me, Harrison Silcox. A lot of ego involved in that comment, I guess, there. But and then also with me, Kristen Hazley. Kristen, we bring you into the halftime show here. We'll get thoughts on the first half. Presented by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. But your thoughts there on quite an entertaining first half of basketball.
Incredibly entertaining, and you said it yourself, Harrison, two very different styles of basketball that we're seeing. Obviously, Rossville trying to run everything through Burkeville, going quick, going with pace, trying to run the court, quick outlets. On the other side, you see Fountain Central being very methodical, very, not necessarily slow, but I would say patient in their offense. You've seen the cuts coming through at different times. You've seen them moving the ball quickly, really being selective on the chances they take at the basket. And that's what's put them above in this match, is honestly their efficiency on offense.
We talked a lot about Ava Burkle in the pregame. She's played well, kind of went a little bit quiet there in that second quarter. She had 6 points there in the first half. It's second in scoring on her own team. But going to that Fountain Central side, I just find it so interesting when you get the contrast of styles. Mm-hmm. They've got two players who reached double figures there in that first half. Kendall Nolan, one of them, Henley Good, another. So you do talk about how they slow it down. They're a little bit more methodical. How has that worked to the advantage of Fountain Central, I guess, when you look at the individual scoring.
Sure. Well, the main thing they're doing is they're going to move the ball around the perimeter first. And what that does is you're shifting on defense if you're Rossville. Throughout those shifts, you've just seen Henley Good and Kendall Nolan really making those cuts through the heart towards that lane, sometimes to the free throw line, sometimes on the post as well. And when they're open, credit the rest of the Fountain Central guards for being able to find them down low and get those good-looking shots.
And that is your first half thoughts. Thank you, Kristen, for providing that. 25-23, Fountain Central in front. We've got some first half highlights coming up after this.
At Wampler's Disposal and Recycling, we take pride in offering waste management for commercial and residential clients. As an industry leader, Wampler's Disposal and Recycling brings the most professional and responsive collection service in the business. Since 1948, our family-owned and operated company has provided excellent service at competitive rates. We offer container rentals as well. Our longevity in the industry is a testament to our excellent service. We serve all of Clinton, Tippecanoe, Boone, Howard, and Carroll counties. For all your waste removal needs, call Wampler Services Incorporated today. You can reach us at 765-659-3721. Visit us online at wamplerservicesinc.com.
Frankfurt Eagles 976 has bingo every Wednesday night. Early birds beginning at 6 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 7 p.m. Packets are $25 and includes every game you need to play. They also have Saturday bingo the first Saturday of every month, with early birds starting at 4 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 5 p.m. Big game payouts each game with 3 to 4 chances to win different jackpot games each day. Great for individuals or groups because everyone enjoys winning lots of money. You must be 18 years or older to play.
We've got first half highlights for you presented by Mulberry Telecommunications, the best gig in town. And my advice for these highlights, if you're watching, is sit back and enjoy the show because it was a fun first half, Kristen.
It was a great first half. We saw Rossville opening it up from 3 a little bit. Honestly, most of these replays you're going to see, excellent ball movement from both teams. You find him down on the post there. Obviously, excuse me, Addie Corbett adding a nice little wrinkle there to the Rossville offense on top of Ava Burkle as she puts that one away. On the other end, again, just trying to find that heart of the zone, a little friendly bounce there. And you know what? Fountain Central's just done a nice job of being patient and selective with where they're putting the ball on the court. Not playing into a lot of traps like we saw early on. They're getting a nice little foul contact call there with Kendall Nolan. Both of those players, though, have been very important in that post game, as well as kind of in the middle lane game in general.
And getting a good look at Burkle there on the drive. An interesting wrinkle I felt from this game as we work our way through these first half highlights, Kristen, was we didn't see any three-pointers, and then all of a sudden, late in that second quarter, we got one from each team.
Yeah, and credit, obviously both teams trying to play a little bit of a different defensive scheme. For Rossville, those shots were open early, just not able to really knock them down. They were able to find Corbett, though, in the area there, and she was able to really get it home from that sweet spot. Fountain Central, it'd be interesting to see if they do attempt a few more threes in this second half, especially if Rossville comes out in that 3-2 zone again.
And this is a look at the final shot of the half. And it was a fun first half when the final shot goes in like that. It was Henley Good on the make, gave her team the lead as well. So there you have it. That's a look at your first half statistics. Coming up on the other side, we're going to get closer to the third quarter. Might touch on a little bit of adjustments we may see from either team. That's all coming up after this on ISC Sports Network.
Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Oh, sweet. And welcome back to Rossville High School. Harrison Silcox, Kristen Hazley with you on the broadcast this afternoon. Kristen, we're getting close to this second half starting, but quickly an adjustment you'd want to see from either team.
Yeah, I think Rossville, obviously, Ava Burkle got into some foul trouble really quickly into that first quarter. Did a nice job of limiting, obviously, the fouls the rest of that first half. I'd like to see her get a little more aggressive in the offensive scheme, though. Can you really take on some of those Fountain Central post players and really kind of just assert her will? If it's not there, she's done a great job of kicking it out and moving it around. Same thing, keeping it going.
And we're getting ready now for the third quarter of play, and it starts right now. Rossville working the opposite direction than they did there in that first half. As 3 on the way, it is Shorts. Rebound fought for, and a foul is called here in this first possession as Rossville trails by 2.
As Alia Elliott on the shot attempt there. Averaged 9.8 games last year. Definitely someone that is somewhat of a secondary scorer for them behind Burkle.
Passing the inside to Burkle, deflected off of Burkle and then went out of play. That's tough for the inbound pass from the baseline to turn it over there if you're Rossville. Now, Fountain Central's got a chance to build on their lead. 2 points currently, if you're wondering, is the largest lead that Fountain Central has had so far today.
And you would have to say the turnover edge in the first half went to Fountain Central as well. I would call that, a product of the patient and methodical offense that they've run is taking good care of the ball. Rossville, we've seen them give away the ball a little bit, few too many times.
Wesley with a basketball on the outside, works inside from the perimeter, and picks up her dribble, passes back out to Nolan. Burkle with the steal in transition. Can she finish? Works up with the left hand, no good. And then a whistle is blown from the official. Foul on the floor, and it goes against Fountain Central.
He has a good pickup there by Burkle. And then a great recovery there by Kendall Nolan, able to force her to her left hand, and that's why she can't just make it an easy layup there.
Shots on the way. It's off the mark. Foul called. Victoria Vanderwall will go to the line to shoot 2. So Vanderwall, last season, shot 57% from the free throw line and misses the first on the front end. So the 5'8" junior goes through her routine. Second one on the way. She'll connect on the second. Her third point of the day. First points you've seen here in the second half. 25-24, Fountain Central with a basketball and leading by 1 against Rossville. And that leads to a turnover. Basketball picked up by Vanderwall and taken the other direction. Gorbett dribbles with the left hand. Now rolls back to her right.
It looks like Fountain Central staying in that man-to-man defense. Well done there. Able to find Allie Elliott on the cut for the lay-in and 2.
Lead goes back with Rossville. 26-25. The Hornets move in front. Henley Good back with the basketball. Vanderwall matched up with her as it goes out to the far side. Now Wesley gets open around a screen. Goes out to Good on the shot. No good. Good chases down her on a rebound but cannot stay in play. That is a turnover. Rossville will get the basketball back with the lead back in the home team's hands.
Yeah, I like that shot by Henley Good. Maybe feeling a little confidence from the buzzer beater at halftime, but didn't see her take a lot of those shots in the first half. It's a good-looking shot and almost grabs her own rebound as well.
O'Brien around a pick from Burkle. Pushes out to the far corner. Elliott on the drive inside. Shots is no good. Rebound picked up by Asheville. Fountain Central looking to open their season with 6 straight wins. As Wesley, a nice little move inside, couldn't get the shot to finish. Offensive rebound keeps the possession live with Fountain Central. And now we get a whistle called on the floor. Asheville was fouled as she tried to work her way inside of the low post.
Yeah, Citrus Wesley does a nice job of finding her way to the lane. A good little semi-Euro step. I don't really know what you'd call that, but a good move there in the paint. Unable to find the lay-in, but they'll get the foul. Interesting here. I believe this is the new inbound spot this year for high school girls basketball. They can take it out on the end line there.
Adeline Farley, by the way, checking into the basketball game for Rossville during the stoppage in play. That shot blocked by Gorbett. Now she'll try to go coast to coast in transition. Burkle on the outlet hits the three, make it 29-25.
She knew that one was good as soon as it came off. And look at the bench, doing some bench presses for the three-pointer. It was impressive by Rossville as well as Ava Burkle on the court.
Burkle only shooting 24% from three last season. Gets her first three-point attempt on the day to fall, and then that's followed up with a foul against Rossville on the other end. As Henley Good will go to shoot a pair and get another look at the Burkle three.
She knew that was good as soon as it left her hands, and nice shooting motion there, wide open, a good transition three for Rossville.
Free throw is good from Good. Broadcast today brought to you by Mulberry Telecommunications, offering high-speed fiber optic internet, streaming TV, telephone solutions as Good makes the second. We are a local telecommunications cooperative that's been serving Clinton and Tippecanoe County for over 120 years. Now that we've expanded our services into Rossville, we're excited to join your neighborhood and welcome you to our fiberhood. Learn more at mintel.net or call 765-296-2885. As Rossville will be inbounding from their own baseline. Burkle out from the corner. Another three on the way. That one is too strong. And so now Good will run the floor. Fountain Central down by 2.
Yeah, Rossville didn't rely on the three a lot in the first half. Seen them look for that pretty much exclusively so far, but not a lot of time passed through, and Corbett as well as Burkle obviously more than capable to drain them from behind the arc.
Farley called for the foul that time around. And she get another look on the cut from Ashwell inside.
Yeah, and Farley there just not in the best position to go for the block there. Needs to slide on over, and then I think she gets a good shout there for a block versus the foul.
First free throw from Ashwell was off the mark. Chance to cut the lead down to just a single point if she can make this. And she misses both at the line. So tough trip for Asheville there. Rebound goes to Rossville. And the Hornets will try to build on this 2-point lead to make it a two-possession game. Largest lead so far today. The Hornets own it. It was 7 back when it was 10-3 in the first quarter. Trying to find Burkle inside of the cut along the baseline. The pass was deflected out of play. So Hornets will keep.
Yeah, Fountain Central has really come out of this halftime, putting the pressure on defensively. They're denying a lot of passes. That's why you see Rossville having to skip a few passes here and there, and looks like even trying to throw in a little zone trap there as well.
That three left short by Gorbett. Fountain Central getting the rebound. Mustangs trying to run with it. And then Wesley slows down with the basketball. Competitive game since the start here between these two teams. Fountain Central 2-1 in the last 3 meetings. Rossville has not beaten Fountain Central since 2023 as a three-pointer is off the mark and out of play from the freshman. Rossville will cross midcourt. Burkle gets the ball immediately on this possession. Now it's back to Burkle, top of the key. Thought about firing away from 3. Now Farley tries with the left inside, off the glass and through.
Great recognition there by Farley to realize Burkle is floating out to the perimeter, taking the defender with her. Sees the lane, drives it to the hoop. Well done there by Rossville.
31-27 where the score stands now. Sub 3 minutes left in the third. Ashwell pushes it out to the far side. Good back with the basketball. She tries to drive it herself, loses the handle. Basketball goes out of play. Turnovers adding up here lately for Fountain Central.
Yeah, Rossville really looking like the cleaner team this quarter so far. Burkle playing with a lot of confidence. We saw her drain that 3 earlier. It seems to be her first look now. She's in the right position, and you can't blame her.
Now Wesley defending O'Brien as she works inside, splits through a pair of defenders and finishes on the lay-in.
And this is where Rossville can be very, very tough to compete with because obviously you can shut down Burkle, but you can throw everyone on and shut down Burkle, but when that supporting cast gets going, you talk about Corbett, you talk about O'Brien, even Adeline Farley, as they get going, it just is tougher and tougher to keep them off the scoreboard.
And Wesley tried to drive inside. Rossville wanting a jump ball, but doesn't look like Burkle's going to get that. Fouls are starting to add up for Ava Burkle. She picked up 2 quick ones in the first half. I believe that's her 3rd now so far today. Is the body language on the frustration from Burkle pretty evident there, as Fountain Central will look to inbound.
It's a tough call for Burkle. Felt like she was in the right defensive position, especially it being the 3rd foul, though. Just something she's going to have to be aware of. Try and make it through this quarter without any more fouls, and she should be fine to go the distance.
Good. Works along the baseline. Could not get around Gorbett. Goes out of play. Rossville will get the ball back.
Hey, yeah, Addie Gorbett and honestly Ava Burkle, Farley both stepping it up big time. A big shift in the Rossville defensive effort this half so far.
And Farley had the basketball. Then a whistle was blown on a timeout, I believe, called by Jennifer Jacoby and the Hornets. And while we got a break in the action, why not look up the upcoming schedule on ISC. Tune in Tuesday night at 7:30 as the Lady Hot Dogs host the Chargers from North Montgomery. Or watch Plainfield take their show on the road to Ben Davis. Then on Wednesday night at 7:30, it's North Central at Lawrence North. All of that and more, the ISCSportsNetwork.com, where local lives here. Also, would like to highlight JXN Stump Solutions. You tired of unsightly tree stumps ruining your yard? Let us take care of it. We've got the equipment and experience to get the job done right. We offer 3 tiers of service that will rejuvenate your yard, all at competitive, budget-friendly rates. Call 765-242-9523 today for a free estimate. JXN Stump Solutions, rooted in service, driven to remove. And then also today's game, brought to you, of course, by the Frankfort Eagles Post 976. Serving our community since 1905 with over 900 members locally, the Frankfort Eagles offers something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by 408 North Main Street in Frankfort. Kristen, what do you think the discussion was like in that timeout for Fountain Central, trailing in this one by 6?
I think you're motivating right now. You're saying, hey, it's a game of momentum. Not our momentum right now. Let's go back and grab it. If they can make a couple outside shots and start to limit some of those turnovers that we've seen them starting to commit this half, they could get right back into this one, Harrison.
Well, they've just created a turnover themselves out of the timeout that was called by Rossville. Now on the perimeter is Nolan, who drives inside. Shots off the mark. Offensive rebound to keep the possession alive, though, was hauled in by Ashwell. And then she lost the basketball on the putback. Here comes Rossville back the other way as the game picks up some pace. A 3 is off the mark, no good. Rebound, though, goes toward Fountain Central and then fouled after the rebound. It was good hustle there from Kinley Elkins.
Yeah, Mallory O'Brien with the steal, coming down, open for the shot. It's a good-looking shot. Uncharacteristic foul there, though. You don't want to give up that foul in your own backcourt. Ball going back to Fountain Central. Another look to get back into this one. Got the bonus.
Yeah, into the bonus now is Fountain Central. As you see on the graphic at the lower right hand of your screen, 5 fouls on Rossville this quarter as the first free throw is good. It's another good opportunity to just get back a little bit on the scoreboard when you can get these chances from the free throw line, and Elkins able to cash in on both.
Yeah, and it's always easy to say free throws are important, right? But even more so in high school basketball, not everyone, they're not given points. And so at every trip down the floor, if you can rack some points up from the line, it's going to help you, especially in a tight game like this one.
You're getting a look at Sam Carr's huddle, the head coach for the Mustangs. 55-23 is his record now in his 4th year with Fountain Central. He's got 7 years of head coaching experience under his belt, 115 wins, 38 losses. He's head coach back at Turkey Run from 2007 to 2010 before he took the job here in the last few years at Fountain Central. He's only had 1 losing season as a head coach. That was back in 2022. It was 11-13. That was his first year with the Mustangs. But he's clearly got this program to some good and solid winning ways. They were 20-5 last season. Mentioned a couple times they're 5-0 to start this year. After their best starts since 2016. They started 8-0 back then, so a win streak that they're trying to keep alive, but it is against the ropes a little bit here with 1:21 left in the third quarter, trailing by 4.
Coach Carr really building a nice culture there at Fountain Central. Much more returners on this side than the Rossville side. And Henley Good has been extremely impressive. That sophomore to junior year jump that she's making this season, and has already started the season off on a hot streak.
Yeah, Good with 12 points so far today. Averaged just over 8 a season ago as Rossville has the basketball out of the timeout. That shot's off the mark. Wesley comes down with a rebound along the baseline, and she'll sprint to the other side of the court. Fountain Central trying to make it a one-possession game. 1 more minute left to play here in this third quarter. How patient the Mustangs want to be, we'll see. Attacking right away. Layup is off the mark. It was a good drive, but Fountain Central unable to close in on the hoop. That was some solid work from Good, but now in transition, it's Rossville trying to get the scoring touch going, and a whistle goes against the Hornets. The score stays the same. Fountain Central to get the basketball back. Just under 40 seconds left to play here in the third. Now Wesley from the top of the key. Dribbles left, goes back right, loses the basketball. It's kept on this side of the floor, though. Kendall Nolan with the ball now. It looks like the Mustangs will hold for the last shot here as Burkle comes up to apply some pressure on Nolan. Dribbles into a double team, passes out of it with Good. Now under 10 seconds left here in the quarter. Good's got the basketball back. 5 to get the shot off. She does. Off the glass, no good. Rebound, put back, falls short. And that is how the third quarter will end. Rossville leads 33-29. I promise you, going anywhere else is a bad idea with a fourth quarter right around the corner on the ISC Sports Network.
We've all heard the question, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? Honestly, we're not sure either. But what we do know is that if it falls in your yard, it usually leaves behind an unsightly stump that you'll be stuck mowing around. At JXN Stump Solutions, we'll get rid of that stump for good, and here's the best part. We offer free estimates, so you'll know the cost before the work begins. We deliver quality work from a professional, locally owned company with a commitment to leaving your property cleaner, safer, and stump-free. Contact us today at 242-9523. At JXN Stump Solutions, we're rooted in service and driven to remove.
Back at Rossville High School, just about ready to start the fourth quarter. 33-29, Rossville in front of Fountain Central. Today's game brought to you by Day and Ginda Funeral Home, with locations in Frankfort, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville. The compassionate and experienced staff at Day and Ginda Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved one. For more information on our services and community involvement, please visit dayandginda.com. Day and Ginda Funeral Homes, where we put family first. And also today's game brought to you by Rossville Schools. At Rossville, we rank #1 in safety, lead the county in academics, and have achieved remarkable success in our athletic, agricultural, and fine arts programs. Come see why Rossville Schools is #1 across the board in and around our community. Visit rcsd.k12.in.us for more information, or call us at 765-379-2990 to set up an on-site visit. Once again, I'm Harrison Silcox. Kristen Hazley with me from the ISC studios as we bring you back into Rossville High School. Kristen, a very good game so far. What do you think we're going to get here in the fourth quarter?
Well, it's going to stay tight, I'll tell you that. Very different third quarter than the first half. Obviously, both teams still playing through the main key players there. Henley Good here, Kendall Nolan with a nice take. She's one of those key players for Fountain Central. Rossville, on the other hand, we saw Ava Burkle get going a little bit with that three-pointer. Can she have a big fourth quarter to ice this one for the Hornets, or do the Mustangs have it back?
Rossville lead cut down to 2, extended right back to 5, courtesy of Vanderwall from downtown.
Great opening look from Vanderwall there. She's been kind of quiet this evening, but an important key three there to balloon that lead back up to 5.
Vanderwall just 18% from 3 last season. It gets a big one there to extend the lead for Rossville. Just a little bit largest lead so far today has been 7 points. Rossville, as you can see, currently up by 5.
And this is kind of what we've seen all game from Fountain Central, just very methodical, picking their moments, and then, big block there by Gorbett. Just picking their moments and going forward.
Yeah, Gorbett on the rejection, and then Burkle on the other end drawing the foul. She'll go to the line to shoot a couple. And that duo of Burkle and Gorbett, dangerous on the offensive and defensive ends of the court.
You're exactly right, and that's why they've had so much trouble getting it interior today. Really, I thought that Fountain Central would rely a bit more on their three-point shooting. Haven't seen a whole bunch of it. It could be a key, though, to get them back into this in this fourth quarter.
First free throw is off the mark from Burkle. Stays at 9 points on the day. And now she jumps into double figures. 37-31, Rossville in front by 6. 2-possession game as the Mustangs get the ball back on offense. Good straight to Wesley to start the possession. And the patient offense from Fountain Central, clearly a successful recipe as you're in a competitive game here, Kristen, but when you start to trail these games and time becomes a factor, how hard is it to maybe pick up the pace when you've been used to being patient a little bit as Wesley goes to the free throw line?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things you can pick up on. Obviously, if you're trying to go in transition, you can go quickly versus slowly. In an example like that, you love the drive that Citrus Wesley makes there into the paint, draws the 3 defenders. Now, obviously gets to the line, gets the contact, but if she can find the kick out there, it looked like she had Henley Good on that outside arc, just waiting for the spot up 3. That's the next wrinkle of it as far as turning that, 2 points at the line into a quick 3 points.
Lead cut down to 5 as Wesley went 1 for 2 that trip at the free throw line. Now we'll see if Rossville, do they ever start to slow down some of their possessions as an early shot off the back ironed it out from Burkle. And Fountain Central is going to come away with the basketball. Home crowd not too pleased. They wanted a call there, did not get it. Now Good's going to run in transition. Take it back out to the top of the key.
Yeah, if you're Rossville, I mean, Fountain Central is essentially, they're going to pick it up a little bit here, but they're kind of doing your clock winding for you. If you can stay strong defensively and really limit any good shot opportunities that Fountain Central can find, you can run this clock out, honestly, on the defensive end a little bit.
37-33, actually, your score as a shot deep 2 is too strong there from Asheville. Basketball, though, is going to stay on this side of the floor. Good to be the inbounder for the baseline on the far side. And Good did not step into play in time. Not sure if she was expecting that pass. I think she inbounded it to Nolan, who gave it right back. So an unforced turnover there for Fountain Central.
Just miscommunication, I think, on that one. Could have seen a shot there as well.
Now O'Brien flips it back over to Burkle, in and out of her hands. And she picks up her dribble now. She needs some help. Nice little pass around to get it to O'Brien. Bounce pass goes back to Burkle. One more for a 3. That's too strong. Rebound hauled in by Vanderwall. Solid second half here for Vanderwall as O'Brien tries to shoot from downtown and hits 40-33. Lead is extended. Timeout called on the floor by Fountain Central as Sam Carr wants to talk things over. As you take a look at why Coach Carr just called the timeout.
Yeah, Mallory O'Brien doing a great job finding her spot behind the arc. Catches, shoots quickly, and you saw the end there. She knew that one was going in.
A great view of that shot from our camera crew as well. Props to the production crew for getting the replay going, too. I want to remind you, broadcast today brought to you by Healthy Communities of Clinton County. They offer free navigation services for all pregnant women. A licensed nurse is available to help you with free pregnancy tests and prenatal vitamins, insurance assistance, prenatal appointment assistance, smoking or vaping cessation, breastfeeding, labor, delivery, safe sleep, car seat, and newborn care education. Call Libby at 765-659-6063 for more information. And then also the Willow Creek Barn. Attention, all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn's been voted the Knott's best of weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside Frankfort, Indiana, our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop For your dream barn wedding, to start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Rossville leads by 7. Fountain Central is going to get the ball back here. How do you circle the wagons a little bit if you're the Mustangs?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think they've played pretty well defensively. The man-to-man has been working really well for them, especially limiting Burkle and some of the looks she's been able to get. With that being said, you don't want to get too far away, obviously, from your offense, but you want to pick up the pace, maybe taking that first or second option. That right there is what you cannot do, though. With 4 minutes on the clock, you've got to use every possession you can get, and Fountain Central wasting one there.
Yeah, turnover not going to help the situation when you trail by 7, matching the largest lead of the day. Rossville's not been in front by 7 since the first quarter when they led 10-3. Now Burkle with the basketball, passes out to the far side. Now it's back with O'Brien, the most recent scorer for the Hornets.
I like Fountain Central picking up the defensive intensity a little bit here. They obviously won the turnover battle in the first half, but have not forced that many from Rossville in this second half.
O'Brien's floater's off the mark. That rebound just deflected out of play, and it's a turnover. I don't know if it's quite a turnover, but it last touched Fountain Central. Regardless of how that gets added in the stat sheet, a tough break for the Mustangs, who were trying to stay undefeated after winning their first 5.
Yeah, they would have liked that one. Both players just going for the rebound and then almost pulling back at the same time. Got some contact on the ball, but they'll get it back that way.
Yeah, nice break there. Good defense on the inbound. That was Kendall Nolan, who was in coverage on the target on the inbound pass as it was bounced out of play. Looked like it last touched Victoria Vanderwall, who will go to the sideline and get a breather. Checking into the basketball game now is Autumn Pascal. As Fountain Central inbound in front of Rossville's bench. Go ahead, Kristen.
Yeah, no, that was just the first time we had really seen Rossville try and slow their offense down a little bit. Now, obviously, the caveat to that, the other side is all of that passing gives you the opportunity for Fountain Central to jump those passing lanes, a missed time pass like we saw in the turnover there. So, it could potentially credit Fountain Central as well.
Good's got the ball back. She picked up her dribble, though. Finds Wesley as a nice outlet. 3.5 left to play here in quarter number 4. Rossville by 7. Trying to get their first win over Fountain Central since 2023. Wesley open from the perimeter. The freshman cannot hit. Rebound is chased down by Farley. Looks to push in transition and will slow things down as she crosses midcourt.
Yeah, I still think that's a good shot selection there from Citrus Wesley. At this point in the game, need to get some kind of offense flowing. I don't hate that shot at all.
Farley with the basketball. Yeah, tough break, an open look there from 3. But it's one thing to get the open look, it's another to hit it, so it's the right idea. But you can't just assume all your shots are going to fall. Now here's another good look from 3. Good. All that rattled in and out. Gets the ball right back. Thought about maybe taking another, but Burkle comes to match defensively.
Yeah, and this team is not bad for three-point shooters. They just don't rely on that, obviously. And so when you get into situations where you need to find the 3 ball, can be kind of tough. Obviously, we've seen Henley good knock down a couple. Almost got her other one there as well.
And Nolan, that 3 off the front rim and out. Rebound hauled in by Rossville, and then a jump ball as Aubrey Ashwill got her hands on the basketball as well. Possession arrow, those going to, I believe, favor Rossville as we get a break in the action. Timeout called here on the floor. So 2:23 left to play. Kristen, as Fountain Central's going to talk things over, you get another look at Sam Carr in the huddle here. What do you think the strategy is for his team that's been very patient, very methodical on offense? I think they've done a pretty good job defensively, but how do you kind of have to switch things up on offense, or do you have to switch things up on offense, given you're down by a couple possessions here and you've been playing that methodical game all day?
Yeah, and I mean, we just saw it there. They're obviously not guarding the perimeter super tight. Rossville isn't. Fountain Central not able to really find the back of the net, though, from behind the arc as well. So with that being said, if you can somewhat create a threat from the three-point line, even if it's a shot fake, then can you get, the defense moving towards you, potentially go with a shot fake, get something in the lane, something back post. Honestly, at this point, if you're Sam Carr, you're telling him to take the open looks. If you've got a good shot and you feel it, let's go for it. Because you mentioned it, Harrison. Their defense is playing fairly well. Last trip down the court, got that turnover and a steal as well. So defense is stepping up, but they've got to put some points up on the board.
Rossville being held to just 40 points after they scored 58 points in their season opener against Western Boone. That was the most points that Rossville has scored in a season opener since 2018, so clearly a very good offense. But Rossville looking at inbound here as play's about to get going again. And it'll be interesting to see how patient the Hornets want to be on offense and how aggressively Fountain Central will be on defense, as Burkle bounces a pass over to Gorbett.
Yeah, it looks like they've got 3 up top there. Anything in the middle that they can, they're going to try and find a trap.
Back with Burkle as Rossville is just going to try and strangle the rest of this game. Gorbett gets the basketball back, momentarily poked free. Now O'Brien with it. She's double teamed by Good and Nolan, and a timeout's going to be called by Coach Jacoby. As Rossville tries to move to 2-0. I mean, do you like just trying to hang on to the basketball for another minute and 54 seconds here without the shot clock in Indiana basketball, or you prefer to go for it a little bit?
No, do I like it? No. Is it smart? Maybe. I think at this point you really have to try and keep moving that ball around. They're out of timeouts. So at this point, if you get trapped, you're looking at a turnover or a jump ball. So, you can technically run the clock out. Is it the best move for Rossville at this point? I don't necessarily think so. Fountain Central obviously will end up fouling at some point if they do try and do that. So we're not far away from that foul to get the ball back situation either at this point.
So free throw shooting could be key here down the stretch. And 7 points is a 3-possession game. 1 proper bounce of the basketball for Fountain Central fans. It could become a 2-possession game. Obviously, if you're Rossville, you hope that doesn't happen. And if Fountain Central does start to foul, it's going to be very important to hit your free throws. Just 1 foul in this quarter, though, for the Mustangs. This basketball goes out of play, and that's that proper bounce that Fountain Central was looking for. As that possession ends with Rossville not scoring anything. You got a minute and 46 now to erase a 7-point deficit on the scoreboard for the Mustangs. They'll start this possession. Citrus Wesley with a basketball.
And you don't necessarily need a 3 here. That's a trap a lot of teams will fall into. Down 7 with about this much time. Just get a bucket, but get it quick.
Nolan picks up her dribble out to the perimeter. 3 from Goods on the way. She took a shot after taking the shot. Wesley gets the offensive rebound. And a whistle's going to stop play here. The 2 referees on the far side of the court having a brief conversation.
It's a very odd sequence there.
I'm not quite sure what happened, to be completely honest with you. It's just,
if there was
like Wesley got the basketball, and then maybe there was a foul in there. Kristen, go ahead.
Yeah, I think if there was a foul, it was on Henley. Excuse me, a foul on Nolan on the shot, on the come down, and that was what Coach Sam Carr was wanting. It was right in front of them. The ref put his fist up like he was calling a foul, but we didn't hear a whistle. So either way, Fountain Central gets the ball back.
Yeah, tough drive from Wesley, just unable to finish on the lay-in. Now with about a minute left in this one, is Fountain Central going to have to try and foul. They've got plenty of fouls to give. As that shot on the way and off the mark. Rossville rushing on offense on that possession. Not sure if they necessarily needed to do that. Good now pushes in transition. And now it's a foul on the other end. You're going to get Gorbett, who's whistled for this one. Ashley's going to go to the line to shoot a pair.
Yeah, not a great foul there by Gorbett. At that point, you give her the Olay, let her go on through. The last thing you want to do is give up a bad foul there, give them a chance at a 3-point play. Obviously, doesn't make the layup, but does get the 2 shots at the line.
So Asheville misses the first of her 2 free throw attempts. Just 1 make at the line here will make it a 2-possession game. On the way, and it rattles home. And a timeout called on the floor, as it is now a 2-possession game, 40-34. It's kind of an interesting situation here, Kristen, 51 seconds left to play. Mustangs have just 1 foul on the quarter. but they're in that territory where they need to start fouling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how quickly do you have to start racking up some of these fouls?
You would assume Coach Carr is aware of that. Yeah, I would start fouling immediately at this point because, one, you're giving yourself a nice chance at a steal on it inbound right away. You obviously try and do that first, get the steal, foul right away, do it again until you get to the point to the line, because the whole point of that is obviously you want to get the ball back, but until you get Rossville to the line, you can't do that. So, I think you're playing the most aggressive press defense you have ever played in your life, and just trying to get a steal on everything, even if you give up the foul.
Absolutely. As Rossville is able to inbound the basketball without any problems. Fountain Central not fouling just yet, and now they will do that. Wesley fouls Burkle.
He'll try and get that 10-second call. Not played in a lot of actually every version of basketball that we'll watch today, but the 10-second rule is still very prevalent in women's basketball, and something that they'll use as sort of that sixth defender.
Corbett on the inbound, and quickly another foul. This time Henley good. It's going to get called with it. So the fouls adding up here for the Mustangs as expected. 41.3 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Rossville up by 6. Trying to get just their second win of the season. There's a couple players on this team who play volleyball for Rossville as we got another foul called. This one on Wesley, her second in the last few seconds. But Rossville went on a run all the way to semi-state in girls volleyball. So you got a couple players on this roster who were on that volleyball team, so a bit of a delayed start to the season as Rossville is trying to secure that second victory. Burke with the basketball. She was one of those volleyball players. Now O'Brien's back with it. She's up top, and Rossville will now foul this time around. And I believe that should put Rossville at the free throw line. We'll do exactly that, so O'Brien's going to get a chance to extend this lead, possibly back to a 3-point game. Time winding down here. First free throw is good for O'Brien. That makes the hill a bit more steep to climb. Second from O'Brien is off the mark. Lead, though, is up to 7. Fountain Central is going to try and push here, obviously. Good. Straight to the cup. Layup is in.
Yeah, you just wonder, where was that about 2 minutes ago? You needed a couple possessions of just that aggressive drive to the hoop.
It's 14 points for Good today. This basketball goes out of play. 6.2 seconds left in this one. Crazier things have happened in basketball. Good back with it.
I tried to go 2 for 2.
Yeah. She made a 3 from that deep at the end of the first half. Cannot connect that time around. And 41-36 is going to be your final score. Rossville gets the win. They move to 2-0 on the season. And for the first time this year, Fountain Central loses a game. They fall to 5-1. A well-contested game throughout as we move directly into our post-game show. Brought to you by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. And we will get into our player of the game. I believe it is Mallory O'Brien who is going to get that award as we take a look back at what O'Brien is able to do in this game. Kristen, why don't you break down her play?
Yeah, she has just been excellent. The freshman really almost iced this game for Rossville. She became the difference in the second half. You see her in the first half there doing a nice job of driving, gets to the basket. Here again, another nice move through the 2 defenders in the second half. She had a big 3. We'll see that coming up here, but the passing as well. She reads the court well, knows their offense, and knows when those cutters are coming. Here's the big 3. That was a big one. Had a timeout right after that. I almost think that was kind of the separating factor there for Rossville. They took that lead from there and never gave it back. Credit to our player of the game, Mallory O'Brien.
Once again, that is Mallory O'Brien, your player of the game, brought to you by the Frankfurt Eagles. That's Kristen Hazley providing the commentary this afternoon. Thank you for your insight. As always, I'm Harrison Silcox. I would say a huge thank you to our entire crew here at ISC Sports Network for helping this thing happen as we get ready to close out here today's broadcast. One more time, brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home, putting family first. Healthy Communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. Mulberry Telecommunications, your local hometown fiber provider. Rossville Consolidated Schools, achieve, learn, lead, and inspire. The Frankfurt Eagles Post 976, people helping people. And the Willow Creek Barn, providing a picturesque setting for the barn wedding of your dreams. Final score one more time, Rossville gets out with a win over Fountain Central, 41-36.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts